Welcome to the Costa Property Podcast, the podcast that turns your dreams of owning a piece of paradise on the Costa del Sol into reality. I'm Warner Laurie, and I'm joined by my co-host and wife, Sandra Laurie.
Join us as we embark on navigating the ins and outs of real estate and relocation to this beautiful region.
We're not just about market trends, we're about sharing real-life experiences, because we know the struggle firsthand and I've helped many people navigate this challenge also.
If you're dreaming of your perfect Costa del Sol home and want to get real, no-frills, expert advice, then you're absolutely in the right place. Join us each week as we share honest insights and information that will guide your journey. So you hear a lot about Marbella when it comes to the Costa del Sol, but here's the thing. There's another spot on the coast that might just surprise you. Today I'm joined by Hanni Martini, a British writer, foodie and expat who's lived in Spain for years and is now starting her journey in Benalmadena. Why would somebody choose Benalmadena as their location to live? I'm joined by the wonderful Hanni Martini. Hanni's back with us today to discuss that question. Hanni has recently made the big move herself from the beautiful Málaga Central to an area close to Benalmadena called Iguarán. And we want to dive into the early days of her new life here in the Benalmadena area and discuss what it's been like. Welcome back, Hanni.
Thank you. Thanks for having me back.
So some of our listeners and followers today watching may not actually know you. So before we dive into the topic in question, tell everybody a little bit about you.
Well, I am Hanni. I was born in Devon in the UK a few years ago, and about 11 years ago moved to the Costa del Sol. I spent a couple of years living right out in the countryside in the mountains, and then the majority of the time that I've been here, I've lived in Málaga, historic centre, right in all the action in the city, until about a month ago when I decided to make the move out to the Costa.
And I'm so curious to dive into that with you. Now, we do cover Hanni's journey to Spain and her inspiration behind her move and so much more in another video, which we will link you to. So definitely have a watch of that. First and foremost, before we dive into what you're loving about your new home, how are your sanity levels?
Do you know what? They're all right. They're all right now. There was a very hairy week there. The move happened much quicker than we thought it was going to happen. And we dived in with both feet. It's typical of me, actually. So it was a week of intense stress, but after that it's been fine and I feel very relaxed now.
You strike me as somebody that can handle a hairy week.
Well, I'm still here, I'm still standing, and I've had a lot of hairy weeks in my life, so.
Amazing. So tell everybody about your move, where you were before, where you are now.
So previously I was in the historic centre of Málaga. I was there for nearly 10 years, living in a very rickety old attic from the 1800s. Very beautiful, wooden, right up in the eaves, gorgeous terrace overlooking one of the little streets in Málaga. And absolutely loved it. I really loved city life. I loved having everything on my doorstep, being able to walk down to the market every day to buy my own food and all that kind of stuff. But anyway, and now I'm in an area called Iguarán, which is between Benalmádena and Fuengirola.
Okay, so tell, I guess, the people watching about Iguarán.
Okay. Iguarán is a development that has been purpose-built as a community. It's very, very new. The houses started going up maybe 5 or 6 years ago. It's grown hugely it's centered around a hotel. So there's a big 5-star resort with amazing sports facilities, a spa. And that was there were previously some houses there, but they've built up these communities around that hotel. So it's very purpose-built. It's very residential, but for me, it was the perfect location. It has all the amenities that I was looking for that are within walking distance, lots also within driving distance. And it was something really key for me on the Cercanías line. So it has that train that goes directly into Málaga city centre via the airport. And that was really important to me as well.
Amazing, amazing. Like, For me, I love what it has to offer. I totally agree with you. The amenities, the facilities, what it gives you in terms of the lifestyle that you can live up there. It's a great location. So I'm delighted you're settling in well.
Thank
and
you.
I'm following you. I've been following your move on Instagram, and your new home looks beautiful. So congratulations.
Yeah, I mean, it's quite a change from my rickety old apartment in Málaga to a 3-year-old luxury property. Very, very different.
It looks gorgeous.
Yeah, I'm adapting.
Nice, nice. I think that it is easy to adapt to life in such a beautiful home.
It's very easy to adapt to a life in this area for sure, in Egeron and in that particular apartment, and just generally on the Costa.
Amazing, amazing. Now to the controversial stuff. You ready? So Benalmadena doesn't always get the best reputation when it is mentioned as a destination that people want to either relocate to or buy a second home in. And you've made the move from the beautiful centre of Málaga, living in the historic area, to an area, next to Benalmadena. Some would say, why did you do that? And I would imagine your followers on Instagram had a bit of a reaction to that.
A lot of people have said, why would you do that? And actually, yeah, the followers on Instagram, I think generally most people are just loving following the journey and seeing what's going on. But, when you're in the public eye, for want of a better expression, people, and a lot of people follow me because I am living a life that they dream of.
Of course.
Same as you, people have a dream of moving to Spain or love Spain as a destination for their holidays. And so they follow along on the ride. And if their dream is to move to Málaga city centre, and then I kick their dream and say, I'm over this and I'm moving somewhere else, it turns out, I didn't know this before I did it, turns out it upsets some people. But anyway, generally, the very, very vast majority of people are just like, it's so exciting to see you doing something different and see where you're moving to. Benalmadena, I'm not going to lie, I definitely had a lot of judgment around Benalmadena and Fuengirola, this whole stretch of the coast. And I definitely felt like a superior immigrant because I lived in the city centre of Málaga than somebody who lives down on the coast.
Posh immigrant.
I am not going to lie about that. But I will also be the first to admit that I was wrong. And when we started to explore moving out of the city, my partner works down on this side of the city. And so even though we also love the area east of Málaga, very, very different and not going to get a luxury development like the Egeron on the other side. But it was out of the question anyway. So we knew that if we were going to come out of the city, then we wanted to be on the coast. We wanted to be on that train line. And so, there was this stretch to look at.
Yeah.
And my initial thought was absolutely no way is it going to be Benalmadena Fuengirola, because I think of Weatherspoons, I think of, Kiss Me Quick, Irish pubs, and thought, not anymore, I don't. I stand corrected. And so it was really a learning curve for me to get over myself and get over my stigma and come out here and explore. And once I started exploring, I was like, this area has so much to offer.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, Benalmadena, I love it. And we've just touched in on Arroyo de la Miel last week. And I walked in and I was like, oh, it feels like a proper little pueblo. Yeah, it's really nice. There's so much variety. There's so much. And, of course, there's lots and lots of people living here, immigrants living here and expats, but it gives it diversity. I really don't buy into the whole story that the Costa del Sol has lost its essence because of immigration. I just don't think it has. I think there's still gorgeous pockets. We can get 2 stops on the Cercanías line into Los Boliches, which is like this end of Fuengirola. And again, I just had this idea of what that would be like. And I went down there and there's like a little market. There's the grocers, there's the florist, there's, I went into Post a Parcel in one of the shops and the guy was so helpful and it felt like a pueblo. It was really, really nice.
So your eyes have been opened.
My eyes have been well and truly
You're
opened,
converted.
and I'm loving it. Yeah.
So there you have it. So if Hanni has embraced life in Benalmadena, you can too. So if Benalmadena has been on your radar, and even if it hasn't yet, and you're curious if it could be a good fit for you, your family, or your lifestyle, we would absolutely love to help you explore it. We've helped loads of families, couples, individuals find their next chapter here on the Costa del Sol, and you can book a free consultation at www.wlcostaproperties.net or just pop us a DM on Instagram. We're always happy to chat things through. Thank you so much for listening into today's episode on the Costa Property Podcast. Another fantastic episode learning about the highs and lows of relocating to the Costa del Sol from real people who have been through the journey themselves and, of course, our wonderful experts. If you have been enjoying the show so far, remember to hit subscribe to the podcast and leave a rating or review.
We absolutely love hearing your thoughts. Please send any questions that you would like us to answer on the show to warner@wlcostaproperties.net, or you can pop us a message on our socials, which are in the show notes. Remember, you can also visit the website www.wlcostaproperties.net.
See you on the next episode, and bye for now.
Bye-bye.